I don't care what anybody says. You're cool, you're underrated, and people should not sleep on you. Continue to be an awesome person. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here, and I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays. For me, I'm not really a huge celebrator of the holidays, but the most important thing is that you're with family, and I think that's pretty strong. If there was ever a rogue concept in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not girlfriends, though that could definitely take the cake. It has to be family, and a family that plays together stays together. If you have one of those. But even if you don't, your parents think that you're weird for playing this card game, you can show them this cool black guy and how awesome this shirt is. Hey, the shirt's awesome. You should think that the shirt's awesome. Now, there is good news and bad news about this particular shirt. The good news is that we've pretty much sold out. Wait, I think that's the bad news. Yeah, that's the good news and the bad news. I do have 3 medium long sleeve navy in white TheCaliEffect colorways. I almost feel really dumb for even ordering a medium at this time of year. Like, who's a medium? And if you want more information, then of course, I'll leave the information down below in the comment section as well as the description. But with all that out of the way, there are some rogue Yu-Gi-Oh decks that you should be watching out for. These decks are too strong. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some decks that can not only compete with the meta, I'm also going to be showing you how they do it and why they are so good. So without further ado, let's jump on in. Now, I know I said further ado, but I have to do a little prequel strategy because I think that these decks are really good and I feel that players don't necessarily understand them well, and including me. That's why it's a prequel. Normally when we get a 60 card booster set, one of the strategies is good, but in this particular situation, I think all 3 have their time to shine. The live twin strategy isn't necessarily a strategy that you would play on your own, but it goes really well with decks like Eldritch and even Evil Twin to make a really powerful deck. And the Magister strategy is a spellcaster based deck based on some of the most powerful spellcaster decks of old. They all seem to combine and morph into this super spellcaster deck that actually can summon some pretty cool negations. Now again, the reason why I didn't include it in this top 5 rogue list is because I don't have a complete breakdown like I have on these decks, but the cool thing is that you didn't get 5, you got pretty much 7 decks that are really good in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. And the first strategy that we are officially going to include on this list is Subterror. Now, Subterror has been bouncing in and out of formats, but this format is really good. In a control type format where players like to summon monsters on the side of the field at range, Subterrors can take advantage of both of those situations. Basically, how Subterror works is that Subterror Guru such as your Subterror Fiendus, which allows you to pretty much have an Omni Negation hand trap at will and can flip your Subterror Guru back face down, which searches your Subterror Fiendus, which negates your opponent's card effects to search Subterror Fiendus. You guys get what I'm doing here, right? And just when you thought the Subterror strategy was too weak to go against some of the top contending metas, I mean, Subterror Final Battle does allow you to double the attack of any of your monsters, pretty much making Subterror some of the strongest level 4s in the game. Subterror. You only really... Subterror. Now, in my buy these cards before they skyrocket in price video, I did mention Needle Sealing being one of the most powerful cards. It destroys all face-up monsters on the field. Is there like a way to laugh in Subterror? No, you gotta like laugh face down, so I gotta be like, is that how you do it? Needle Sealing is kind of like Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute's a little hurtful to Subterrors, but since it only destroys face-up monsters and Subterror monsters like to be face down, this is like a better Torrential Tribute. I can see the Subterror strategy playing a ton of traps, and then since it does a normal summon, special summoning Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with ease and dominating some of the top decks. Now, if you want a little bit of combo in your control, sometimes you gotta mix a little vegetables inside of your meat, or you could just play salad. You see what I did there? Salamangreat is one of the best mid-range decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And for the players that don't necessarily know what I mean by mid-range, it's combo plus control. The Salamangreat strategy is built off of summoning Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, and from there it becomes a 1-card engine, allowing you to recur your fire monsters from your graveyard to your hand anytime a monster is summoned to its link arrow, so I mean pretty much for free. To also being able to get your control trap cards like Salamangreat Roar and Rage, which negates your opponent's card effects or destroys cards on your opponent's side of the field for, free. Salamangreat is most effective when hand traps are really good, mainly because your main combo requires 1 to 2 cards and the rest of your cards can be pretty much anything. And in today's Yu-Gi-Oh, people are starting to play Nibiru a lot less, mainly because there isn't a lot of decks to hit. That used to be Salamangreat's Achilles heel. We've waited, and now from the depths of hell, we come as the Salamangreat Legion. I really need to stop on whatever I've been doing for the past few weeks. I don't know, it makes me feel good though. Now let's say learning how to control and combo is just a little bit too much for you. You like combos, but you don't want anything huge or anything that tends to change its flow depending on the game state. You also still want a control deck. Well, I mean, I do have one of the best control decks in Yu-Gi-Oh for you. Burning Abyss is easily one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh control decks, mainly because through one card you can make a Beatrice and an IP Masquerena with cards that just keep floating back to your hand to allow you to disrupt your opponent. That's right, it's Dante back at it again. Anytime it's sent to the graveyard, it can recur Burning Abyss cards from your graveyard to your hand, and seeing that both Seer and Graph are at 3, the odds of you having that in your graveyard to recur are pretty high. One of the more cool things I like about Burning Abyss is that in a control format where everyone is playing back row, cards like Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss can really shine. Being able to destroy a myriad of trap cards on your opponent's side of the field before they can activate them, and then you can follow up with all types of cool links like Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix. Those cards just got Chaos Rare prints too, so if you want to swag out, I mean, there's that. All the way to summoning Boral Sword Dragon to attack your opponent for game, Burning Abyss pretty much has it in every aspect. The coolness, the nostalgia, the strength. It's too strong. I want to fold close for you. I want to make you feel good. Now, if I were to tell you that there is a strategy older than Burning Abyss that's actually a really good rogue deck for this format, you'd probably be scratching your head, or you'd be saying that this deck is sweet. Well, I mean, I'd say it takes the cake. You'll understand when I reveal the deck. Madolche is easily one of the most tastiest decks in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't you shake your head at my puns. You got what you just deserved. Doing here? I'm a comedian and nobody knows it. I feel like I need to go on to greater pastures. I'm quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna be a comedian. I'm gonna be a comedian. Now, in a format where there are tons and tons of cards that want to stop your opponent from activating monster effects, you would say that Madolche would struggle. No, not really. Madolche is one of those unique combo decks which can surprisingly play through disruptions. I mean, you don't have to play Herald of the Orange Light, but I'm gonna keep on saying Herald of the Orange Light and Madolche inside of the deck until somebody tops with it. Herald of the Orange Light is one of the most powerful hand traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it allows you to stop True King of all calamities even when you have a monster on your side of the field, unlike Cypher and Gear Gamma. It also allows you to push through your opponent's hand traps such as Nibiru, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Skullmeister, Ghost Bell, basically any card that would stop Madolche's originally. And on top of that, Madolche can recycle this Herald through Madolche Chateau in Teacher Glass Souffle. That is right, Chateau adds cards from your graveyard to your hand, so yeah, that's cool. The Madolche strategy is not only primed to negate your opponent's card effects, Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle is non-targeting and shuffles cards on the field back into the deck. Now, it'd be a shame if those conquistadors never hit the graveyard and that golden boy that can't be destroyed by card effects just so happened to went back into the deck. I personally feel that Madolches are really good right now, and if it ever does top, you better believe I'm gonna have a piece of that pie. Oh man, when the dust settles and you guys finally get the message gelatos that I've been trying to send to you, I hope that you laugh and enjoy this content. And the last strategy is actually older than both Burning Abyss and Madolche. I mean, this is back in the Yugi boomer days, back in my day. Wait, hold on, time out. Burning Abyss was older than Madolche. Or is Madolche older than Burning Abyss? No, which one's older? I don't remember. I'm so old. One thing for sure is that the Buster Blader strategy is not only older than both decks, this deck is incredibly powerful. Now, unfortunately for nostalgia players, Buster Blader does not play the original Buster Blader, but I think you'll suffice being able to special summon the Buster Sword Fusion monster as well as Buster Dragon. Basically, what these two cards do in tandem is turn all of your opponent's monsters into dragons, but your opponent can't activate dragon effects. Also, your Destruction Sword fusion monster gains 1000 attack for every dragon monster your opponent controls. He can essentially one-shot your opponent. Players like to think because of Dragon Buster Destruction Sword being banned, it hurt the Buster Plater strategy. No one played that card. Just summon Red Eyes Dark Dragoon off of Red Eyes Fusion, you didn't need your normal summon, and you get the free dragon monster in your graveyard, and then Buster Lock your opponent like everyone else has been doing. Well, that is all that I have for the top 5 rogue strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Technically top 7, but I think you'll forgive me. Now, I know for a fact that I did not list every single competitive rogue strategy, and here's where I need your help. I want you to post down below in the comment section just in case somebody didn't like my flavor. I mean, there's so many flavors. You know, mine is cookies and cream or butter pecan, but it depends on the day. Also, be sure to check out these other 2 videos if you want to see more awesome TheCaliEffect content. And of course, I'll catch you on the next video. Seriously, dog, I catch you on the next video. You think you're going to watch somebody else, but you know TheCaliEffect is too strong.